we all here?
So I
No,
think
Joyce is up
Danny
front.
and
Yeah. A lot of people
Rita's
left. Yeah. Where'd Joyce go?
Maybe ran to
She's
fall
happy.
asleep.
Maybe.
Are you? Is your choir teacher upset?
Yeah, I went out for some couple meetings with him. And yeah, his take on the whole thing is seems to be very negative. Yeah. Yeah, and then from the church's standpoint, they apparently just wanted to say, well, can you improve in these areas? You know, and then we'll renew your contract. And they figured he'd go, okay, well, you know, what do I need to work on, or what do you want me to work on? But it didn't go that way at all. He just blew up.
Well, that's a lot to expect when it didn't start out as a proper job.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
Started
Started
out
out as a
slander.
exactly. Totally.
And then they tried to make it look like, oh,
That's exactly.
oh, we just wanted to bring up these points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of hurtful.
Yeah.
A lot of fear.
Should we close the door?
There's one more.
One more person?
Yeah. I think it's Sandra. Sandra.
Right, Sandra. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And that was the most the bizarre thing about it. And I did, yeah, I don't know. It's too late now. Yeah, it's been done.
Sometimes things are just unexplainable.
Yeah. 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 Well, did you survive your first meditation?
I was kind of weird at that time.
Yeah.
A lot of thoughts come.
Yeah. That's what you probably will notice, and that's what happens to everyone when we first try to turn inward and become more observant of an inner quiet space. What ends up happening is that ends up magnifying the noise or the voices or the thoughts that we have on a mostly, for most people, on a constant basis, that they're so constant that we're not even aware that they're there. You know, we're not aware that they're there, and we're not aware of the many crazy things that we think during the course of a day, and we don't pay attention and take it for granted. The inner dialogue, the inner conversation that is just happening on a regular basis in the mind, conversations really, you know, and sometimes, often I think we base our decisions on that voice, and that voice is actually not what we are, and that voice has no idea what's going on. That voice is just mainly just confusion, and because you'll probably notice that it argues with itself, and then will change its mind, and one opinion will be another opinion, and then just there's no, so that's the beauty of daily meditation, is eventually that begins to quiet down as we gain the ability to actually see it for what it is, and then it's like it gets caught in the light, you know. It's like it gets caught with his hands in a cookie jar or something. You know, you see it, and then you know, maybe it'll get quiet for a second and sneak off somewhere and wait till you're not looking again, and then just jump back in. You know, it's relentless. So it's very normal and expected to suddenly being, oh my God, what's going on? I'm having all these crazy thoughts and didn't even know I had. You know, could even have these kinds of things. So. Anybody have any questions at this point?
Why is it that I get sort of sleepy? What would it be? Yeah, like, and then after the meditation, really awake? Or
Oh, okay. So you're saying like during the meditation, you're feeling you feel a sleepiness, and then when you're finished, you feel more awake than before the meditation.
yes. That dullness that happens there, and then
Yeah. So that's part of our evolution as a being. Part of our evolution as a being waking up is going through these stages of agitation, which is like distraction, and drowsiness, and it's kind of a beautiful analogy because it is like when you reach the ultimate state of meditation and sort of beyond that, you do like wake from a sleep. It is like waking from a sleep. And it is like very, very much like you see very clearly and directly that your whole life before that was like a dream in a certain way, because our understanding was so confused about how reality was. So in the process of waking, the mind goes through these stages like you could think of it almost like a spheres of I don't know, as you're coming towards the center. Let's say the very penultimate, penultimate, you know, penultimate point of meditation where all opposites come into the center, when all like division between me and you disappears. And what that is, and it's not that you disappear or the world disappears, it's that your mind now understands its nature, which is the space or the background, and the stuff that's filling that background is also part of what your mind is perceiving, but you're not aware, or you don't think of it as being separate. So there really isn't any subject and an object. It's like there's no object, because there's this unification. So on the way there's these spheres of mental like stimulus and understanding and layers, and then so you can think of it almost like a layer of like asteroid dust, you know, like asteroid dust or something around a planet, and as you go in, you hit a layer of fine dust or something, and then it's like it's not very clear in there, and it gets clearer and clearer and clearer and brighter and brighter and brighter the more you get to the center. And then as we get more and more used to the focal point being the center, the light at the center then begins to shine, begins to illuminate more of the outer, and the dullness begins to dissipate. And that will happen in stages where there may be a period of time in your life when it's just by nature of it, you're going through a dullness period, and then that may be followed by an agitation period, but incrementally those will shrink and shrink and shrink. And at some point you won't have dullness or agitation. It'll be very fine. And so it's natural, and it's restive. It's restive because at the same time that it may feel like you're like drowsy, but at the same time your mind is resting. There's a part of the mind that is usually very active that's resting at that time. And because you're making a choice of having this particular type of focus, which is contrary to many of the other ways we focus all during the day, the mind gets to shift gears, rest, and then a different sort of illumination arises within. And then when you come out of meditation, it's like you return to your waking reality, having had the opportunity to shift into a different gear with a different kind of a light shining upon the things that you're looking at. Whereas before the meditation, you didn't have a chance to shift gears, and there was no resting point. And that we or you or whoever may have been more tired than we think we were before we started, and then it's like taking a power nap, but awake. Because at some point there will be no difference between you won't have to, okay, I'm going to do a meditation now. There's not going to be a delineation like that. Those days will be over, and then that will be like the end of dullness. Does that make sense?
I have a question.
Yes, Sandra.
I don't know if it's a good question, but
They're all good questions.
what do you think about crystals?
Crystals?
Yeah.
What do I think about them? Crystal meth or crystals?
Yeah, to meditate or
To meditate?
something else. Yeah.
Do you like crystals?
Yes. Yeah, I was doing some research about them, and I found some very interesting things about them.
Yeah.
They're very powerful.
Yeah.
So I don't know how does it work in meditation.
Well, do you like the sound of this bowl? Do you like the sound of this?
Yeah.
It's crystal.
But for holding crystals,
Yeah.
while you meditate.
They're it's like anything in a way. It's going to be made up of a certain resonance, right? It's like there's a difference between holding a piece of limestone and a crystal. Like they have a different resonance. They're made. Their composite is like derived of different things. And so if you're drawn to crystals, like so much so that you're actually reading about them, right, then there's probably something about crystals that are for you. Because some people don't care about crystals, and some people even believe that people that believe in crystals are foolish, right? And some people that believe in crystals think people that don't believe in crystals are foolish. You know? But crystals don't care. Right?
Yeah.
So I personally like crystals. I like having them around. You know, they're a beautiful gift to receive. They're a beautiful gift to give.
Yeah.
There's something that is beautiful about crystals. So in my experience, the most powerful element of a spiritual practice is your enthusiasm for it. That's the most important part of it. So, you know, there's a reason why you're enthusiastic about them. So I say go for it and discover them and use them and feel them and touch them and bathe with them, shower with them. You know, put them in the moonlight and give it a bath. You know, there's so many beautiful ways that you can use a crystal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else got any great questions? Okay. Well, we don't have much time left. Oh, and you know what else? That first meditation was pretty long. It was a long meditation. For your first meditation, that was like a marathon. That was like, right? That was. It was like you decided all of a sudden you're going to run the 20-kilometer run or something, without stretching and never doing it. So.
But it was very relaxing, I'm going to tell you.
Good.
And crazy.
Relaxing and crazy. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was long for your first time, especially. I mean, most people when they first start, it's like 10 minutes, and that can seem like a long time. That was like almost half an hour. Maybe it was long. I don't even know. But so yeah. But this next one will be very short. So let's do a short one, and then we'll discuss some little details about this Sunday quickly, and we'll be on our merry way. So, your mind can most likely sense the echo of the last meditation. So you can go hunting for that inner feeling, that inner resonance, and retune your body and mind to that place. So what we'll do here in this few minutes that we have, do a nice, beautiful antidote for heavy feelings or feeling like we're clouded with our own, could be anything, our own heaviness. Maybe we have some low self-esteem going, or maybe we're worrying about ourselves too much, or we're thinking about ourselves too much, or that can really bring a cloud into our mind and make life very hard. simply put someone in front of you in your mind. Now, we'll do this on 3 levels. The easiest way will be someone that you care deeply for, that you know, close to your heart. The next level of difficulty would be somebody who you don't know very well, someone neutral, the teller at the bank or the cashier at the Safeway or something. And then if you want to really push yourself, it would be someone that you don't like or blame for your problems or something. Blame for your anger or something like that. You can decide where you want to go, and maybe you want to try all 3. You can start with the lover, the beloved maybe first. See them there in front of you. Have a feeling that you're really seeing them, like you're centered enough in yourself. You feel relaxed enough to actually see them. So you're not looking at their surface things. You're looking deeper to seeing a being. And you just begin in your mind telling them that you love them. I love you. May you always be happy and never suffer. I love you. May you be happy and never suffer. If that's too complicated, just I love you over and over again. Those 3 words. With your rhythm. It could be a lot of silence between each sentence, each phrase, as you imbue the meaning with your silence. And then as you're going along, add more people. And then you're just telling them all at once. You add one more, you pop in. And there's a 3rd one. And there's a 4th one and a 5th one. However high you can count. And you get the feeling that one I love you might sound like you're speaking with 1,000 mouths. Saying it all at once to 1,000 people. And then you're surrounded. Now your I love yous are going out in all directions, behind you, beside you, everywhere. You're just surrounded. And then there's just a silence. No need for words. And you silently thank them all. And we'll finish our meditation and finish the class by dedicating the evening to having a wish in your heart that by coming here tonight and doing your best to meditate and go deeper, that all beings could benefit from your efforts. Somehow, in some way, this echoes out. All these people receive your efforts, the blessing of your efforts, your earnest practice. And in our minds we bow to all the people that have helped us, to all our teachers, and thank you all for coming. And this Sunday, if you'd like to go for a real marathon, we're doing 8 hours of meditation to raise money for, but you don't have to come for that reason. You can just come to raise money for this retreat center. And we're going to be here at 6 a.m. We'll be here meditating until 2 p.m. And you can come and go. You can come at 6 for 2 hours. You can come at 6 for all day. You can come at noon for an hour. And there'll be signs at the door telling you when you could. And you might come in and we're in the middle of meditating, but we're only going to meditate for increments of 24 minutes. With 24 minutes, 6-minute break, 24 minutes, and every one of those 6-minute breaks is an opportunity for you to come and go. So you could just slide in and just sit for one 24-minute session and leave and go home or whatever. So that'll be happening this Sunday. Is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had this really crazy moment as we were like finishing the meditation, and you're like, oh, I love you, and then there was a silence, and then what I wanted to say, I'll say it back. I lacked the courage. But a funny way to finish, but I wanted to stay sacred, I'm sorry. But then, laughter is so important. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
sure they can.